So if you've been a fan of my streams for a while, you understand that I have a tendency to point out one particular thing whenever I'm playing a new game. I love the little details. I love it when a developer fully realizes their world and puts in tiny little things that maybe not every player will see, but the observant could appreciate. Why? Why do I gravitate towards these things so much? Why do I have an affinity for these small, tiny little things, these minuscule little moments in games that, like I said, not a whole lot of people will gravitate to or even care about? I think that actually goes back a little bit for a lot of us. It's kind of a universal thing you find the farther you go into video game communities, is that a lot of people tend to praise old school 8-bit games for one reason. They were so simple. The details were so impossible to pronounce with the hardware that we had available to us back then that your brain just kind of filled in those gaps itself. It let you imagine what the world was like and what all these things actually look like in a context of reality. And there's nothing wrong with that. Your brain will always entertain itself far more than anyone else could possibly. Like, take this for example. Nintendo Capri-sun, great guy by the way if you haven't checked him out. A while back he played through Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest, and in one of the mining levels, this mineshaft type area, he noticed this little pickaxe on the ground, and I believe his exact quote was something along the lines of, this world is so great, I mean look at this pickaxe right here. I mean, somebody was using that at some point to dig through this place for gems or minerals or what have you. We may never find out what, but the fact that it's there says a lot. And you know what? I have an experience like that too. When I was a kid, one of my favorite places to go in a video game, back when I was like 6, 8 years old and I first got my Super Nintendo, was Yoshi's Island. And the reason I love these places is because of the cave levels in particular. Now, because my Super Nintendo was broken and it actually wouldn't save data to any of my cartridges for some reason, I got to see these levels over and over and over. And you know what? These places were beautiful. Like that crystalline floor, all of those waterfalls in the background, that super ambient music you could hear just reverberating off the wall. It was like composed in such a way to feel like you were inside a cave. The mists rolling by, feeling that moisture on your face, the dampness of the air. It blew my mind. It affected me. I had actual dreams of going into the background of these levels and checking out all of the things I wasn't seeing on the 2D plane I was allowed to explore. And I saw all kinds of great things there, like the music changed to suit the area. I saw all kinds of cool creatures that weren't in the normal game. Granted, my experience was a little based on what I had seen, so they were pretty much recolors of some of the enemies, but even back then, what I was doing was I was creating. I was filling in that void. I was looking into those things. I was taking those little details and they were inspiring me to tell stories of my own. My subconscious was realizing that hope and that desire, that urge to see beyond what the game developers intended and tell my own story. And even today, you'd think we've lost that with modern games, but no, that is entirely possible. It's just a lot harder to do. Now that we have the ability to realize those details, we need to actually do it. Like, if you're wandering around a 3D environment, like a standard living room, let's say, and you look on a table and you see like a fashion magazine or something that somebody was reading. One, what does that say about the people who were there, who were living there, and the types of things that they're interested in? Two, if you went to a different part of that world, will you actually see somebody dressing in that brand of clothes, or maybe that exact outfit? It's kind of interesting the types of things developers are capable of doing these days, realizing worlds so fully. I latch on to those types of things, and I make sure to always reward developers for it because it allows for that kind of imagination. It allows for people to wonder, to speculate, to see, is this possible? Could this be done? This is something I constantly strive for as a video game developer, somebody who wants to get into this medium and bring to life, 2 decades later, all of those things I dreamed about when I was a kid. All of these places and things I finally have the tools to make real. And that's the constant barometer I judge that work by. That is my ultimate goal, is I want to create art that inspires more creation. If I can do that, I can leave this industry happy. But hey, I'm only one perspective in the world. I've only got one point of view and I only see things a certain way, when the point of art is that it can be interpreted many different ways. So what are some of the things that inspired you guys? Like, what are some of your favorite details in video games? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. And hey, if you like me and my voice, check out last week's rant right here and a review that I did right here on YouTube. And also, if you really like the stuff I do, be sure to subscribe, like this video, you know the drill. The same types of things everybody asks you in every other video you've ever watched. And be sure to stick around for next Tuesday when I will be doing another rant, not unlike this one, on, well, just about whatever comes to mind. Until then, I'm with the Fnu. Later, everybody!